Every family preserves something from its past: a ring, a letter, a story passed down in fragments. These objects carry memory forward, often stripped of context but heavy with obligation. In one European lineage, the heirloom was neither beautiful nor useful. It was a box sealed, featureless, and never meant to be opened. They called it the final gift. No record explained who made it or when it first appeared. There was no inscription, no decorative work, no mark of ownership. The only instruction, repeated generation after generation, was absolute. The box must be kept intact and passed on. No one was to open it, no one was to discard it, and above all, no one was to ask what it contained. An inheritance without explanation. The earliest written mention of the box appears in a family ledger from the late 1600s. It is described simply as the sealed thing, transferred alongside land and debts. No value is assigned to it. No origin given. What stands out is not the box itself, but the language surrounding it. Each transfer is accompanied by the same phrase, received without inspection. This wording persists for centuries, surviving changes in handwriting, language, and legal systems. The box was not inherited, it was entrusted. A weight that never changed from the beginning, the box was noted as unusually heavy. Small enough to be carried by one person, it nonetheless required effort. Several entries mention the need for assistance when moving it, despite its modest size. Over time, its weight became part of its identity. Family members referred to it as the heavy box even when no other boxes existed. Children were warned not to play near it. Adults avoided placing it on fragile surfaces. No one questioned why a sealed container of that size should weigh more than 30 kilograms. They simply accepted it. The rule of silence, what kept the box sealed, was not fear of punishment, but something more subtle, inherited restraint. The instruction not to open it was never enforced by threat. It was treated as self-evident, like a law of nature. Letters between family members show occasional curiosity, but always paired with resignation. One 18th century note reads, "It is not ours to know." This phrase, repeated across generations, suggests that the box was not meant for understanding. It was meant for continuation. Modern curiosity. By the 21st century, the box had lost much of its context. The family line had spread, records fragmented, and the instruction to preserve it began to feel arbitrary rather than sacred. When the box was finally presented for professional examination, it was done reluctantly. Descendants insisted on non-invasive testing. The seal could not be broken without unanimous consent, which was not granted. What scientists found only deepened the mystery. An empty interior imaging scan showed no compartments, no false walls, no hidden mechanisms. The interior was hollow, completely empty, and yet the box's mass remained unchanged. Even after accounting for dense materials and construction techniques, the weight exceeded all reasonable explanations. The material composition did not justify it. The distribution of mass made no sense. The box was heavier than it should have been even if it contained something solid, but it contained nothing. Attempts at explanation. Engineers proposed various hypotheses: unknown alloys, lead cores, deliberate weighting. Each theory failed under scrutiny. The box showed no seams or openings beyond the original seal. No foreign material was detected. Physicists suggested the weight could be a measurement error. It was not. The box weighed over 30 kilograms in every test, on every scale, under every condition: empty, sealed, heavy, a gift without substance. What, then, was the gift? If it was not an object, it may have been a responsibility. A burden passed forward intact, its contents irrelevant. The weight itself becomes symbolic not of what is inside, but of what must be carried. Some historians suggest the box originated as a legal or moral placeholder, a representation of debt, guilt, or obligation too dangerous to articulate. By sealing it, the family avoided confronting its meaning while preserving its existence. Others proposed the box was meant to contain something that no longer exists. That whatever was inside was removed or destroyed long ago, leaving behind a container that still remembers its purpose. The danger of opening. Why was it never opened? The records do not describe fear of what might be found. Instead, they emphasize continuity. Opening the box would break the chain. It would transform the gift into an answer. And answers can end obligations. Perhaps the family believed the box was not dangerous because of its contents, but because of what opening it would require judgment, decision, and responsibility. As long as it remained sealed, the duty remained shared across generations. A weight without cause. Modern science has no explanation for an empty object that weighs as much as the final gift. But science is accustomed to dealing with phenomena that exist without meaning. This box resists that approach. Its weight is not just physical. It is historical, psychological, inherited. Those who handled it during testing reported an odd reluctance to set it down, as though removing their hands felt like abandoning something unfinished. This sensation was not universal, but it was common enough to be noted. Returned to silence after examination, the box was returned to private custody. The seal remained intact. No further testing was approved. Public reports concluded with a simple statement: no contents identified. No conclusion was offered. The family resumed its role as custodian rather than owner. What was passed forward, the final gift, may never have been about what it held. It may have been about trust, the belief that some things must move through time untouched, even if their purpose is lost. It is tempting to imagine the box once held something physical, something removed or decayed. But this interpretation fails to explain why the weight remains. Perhaps the weight is not inside the box at all. Perhaps it is attached to the act of preservation itself, a mass created by memory, responsibility, and silence. An ending without closure. The final gift continues to exist unchanged. It has survived wars, migrations, and centuries of curiosity. It remains sealed not because it cannot be opened, but because no one has yet decided that they should be the one to do so. Some inheritances are objects, some are stories, and some are burdens disguised as gifts. The box offers no answers. It does not ask to be believed. It simply demands to be carried. And as long as it remains sealed, the weight, whatever its true nature, will continue to pass quietly from hand to hand, generation after generation, unfinished.